Yesterday, it was a tornado of sorts when it comes to the Conservative Party leadership election, and Y Media has an exclusive interview. Yadoo Jaswal, the group editor of Y Media, did an exclusive interview with Patrick Brown, who has now been disqualified to be one of the Conservative leadership candidates. His name is still on the ballot that's been mailed out to some of the members. But now from the 6 candidates, which is Pierre Poilievre, Jean Charest, Leslie Lewis, Scott Aitchison, Roman Baber, well, he's no longer on the list, Patrick Brown, and there's only 5 candidates. It is a ranked ballot. We are going to cover that for you later today on Y Media Political Sensex. You want to tune in at 3 p.m. to hear about what it could potentially mean for the Conservative Party and for this leadership election in terms of where the votes go. Because of the way the ranked ballot system works, if Patrick Brown is no longer a candidate, well, who could be best positioned to become the Conservative leader on September 10th? But when it comes to Patrick Brown, well, his lawyers are now saying that they intend to appeal a decision that meant that the party disqualified him from the leadership race. It was a letter sent yesterday to the Chief Returning Officer, Don Nightingale, from his lawyer, Marie Henin. Do you recall her? Well, she is probably the best person he could have hired because her case counts that she has won have been historic, and she's a formidable lawyer. And so now she's on the case. So Mary Henin and Alex Smith, in the letter to the Chief Returning Officer, they say that they intend to appeal the decision to recommend to the party's Leadership Election Organization Committee, LEOC in short, to disqualify Patrick Brown, because that is the statement they put out there, saying that LEOC said, based on what the Chief Returning Officer had advised them, they had no choice but to disqualify him. And I'm going to go into a statement here from Patrick Brown's lawyers. It says, to be clear, Mr. Brown has engaged in absolutely no misconduct, is what his lawyers wrote in the letter. Your refusal to specify the allegations grounding your recommendation demonstrate this. He has refuted the paltry information you have provided and repeatedly asked for particulars. In this exclusive interview with Yadoo Jaswal, group editor of Y Media, Patrick Brown says these are phantoms that he can't fight against because he does not know the exact details of why he was disqualified. There are allegations made, allegations that have not been proven, which the Conservative Party Leadership Committee, LEOC, says that would go against federal law and Elections Canada Act. And to that, his lawyers said that the process to disqualify Patrick Brown, they say, is politically motivated, and to essentially have a preordained result for, and this is a statement, preordained result, and is not consistent with the values that should be upheld by this party. They said that it's profoundly disturbing and that Patrick Brown only learned of the recommendation from the media reports after the LEOC accepted it and advised the party to retain all documents and records relating to Patrick Brown's disqualification as a matter may now be subject of anticipated litigation, is part of the statement that was released by his lawyers that was sent to the Chief Returning Officer. Take a look at the exclusive interview that took place just yesterday with Patrick Brown and Yadoo Jaswal. Stay tuned today for the in-depth interview, and we have done a series on Y Media Political Sensex of when Patrick Brown launched his campaign through all of his interviews with Y Media and where things ended up yesterday. Take a look.
The allegations that we hear from the Conservative Party, they are saying that a private company based in Brampton is funding your campaign. One of your staffers is being funded by that. And they have referred this matter to Elections Canada, the Chief Returning Officer. And the Chief Returning Officer suggested that you be removed from the federal Conservative leadership race. What's your take on this one?
So we don't have any details from the Conservative Party. They said there was an allegation that one of our volunteers was being paid from a company. We have 1,800 volunteers around the country. We asked them for the name of the volunteer, the name of the company. They said it was an anonymous allegation and they couldn't provide us the name. So this was a flimsy justification to disqualify one of the leading contenders for the leadership. We felt that we were in a position to win this leadership. We signed up over 150,000 new Canadians to join the party, and they've been disenfranchised. And, we know who's behind this. It was the Pierre Poilievre camp. It was his supporters on Leoc who were pushing for this, and it's disappointing.
Now, that's a sneak peek of the interview. If you want to watch the whole interview, you can catch it on Y Media Facebook and YouTube page, but you can stay tuned today as you'll see the full coverage of Patrick Brown's leadership campaign from the moment he launched it through his series of interviews, and how he essentially, when it comes to his policies, and how he compared himself against other candidates, and in this case, Pierre Poilievre, who he says is his campaign was behind him being disqualified. And those are what Patrick Brown has alleged. Now, when it comes to Leoc, they voted 11-6 to disqualify Patrick Brown on Tuesday evening. And then on Tuesday night, they put out the press release of the news that Patrick Brown's no longer a candidate. And of course, that was the media storm that went on yesterday. And so you want to catch that. When it comes to also in the home front in the city of Brampton, well, yesterday, within 24 hours of the Leoc letter that was released that Patrick Brown's no longer a candidate, he's essentially been disqualified as a leadership candidate, well, 5 city councillors at the city of Brampton also put out a statement. They had a press conference yesterday. Y Media was on the scene. We have also that, there you go, that was Y Media on the scene when 4 out of the 5 councillors who put out the statement, they had a press conference about Patrick Brown and the latest issue that has unfolded with the disqualification, what it's done to city matters. They said it's been disruptive because Patrick Brown did not take a leave of absence. And that also came with the allegations of financial irregularities that they say that has been in place because of Patrick Brown's leadership. They also talked about 4 council meetings that have been canceled in a matter of 3 weeks. The councillors who are included in those 5 councillor letters is Pat Fortini, Martin Medeiros, Jeff Bowman, Gurpreet Singh Dillon, and Doug Whelan. Now, you want to stay tuned as I will be doing an interview with Martin Medeiros, who's also the deputy mayor. Later today, we're going to release that, and so you want to stay tuned. I have an interview with him. We're going to go more into detail about what this issue is at City Council and get right into it. But that's what's been unfolding around Patrick Brown from all levels of his political career.